Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Biology for All. In this video, I'm going to talk about tubular reabsorption. So, tubular reabsorption is the second process in urine formation that takes place in the PCT and to a certain extent in the DCT also. Now, the PCT is made up of cuboidal epithelial cells. These cuboidal epithelial cells show the presence of microvilli. And as we know, microvilli is for increasing the surface area for absorption. So here, reabsorption happens of the filtrate into the capillaries surrounding it. That is the peritubular capillaries. The DCT also has cuboidal epithelial cells. However, in the DCT, the lumen is comparatively larger than the PCT. The loop of Henle, which is located in the medulla region, is mostly responsible for reabsorbing water and it has flat cells. Now let us see the process of tubular reabsorption. In this process, now we are going to see what are the ways by which reabsorption happens. So reabsorption is basically the taking up of the useful substances back into the blood from the glomerular filtrate. That means the substances which are required by our body are taken back into the blood from the filtrate. So the first process by which it happens is diffusion. It also happens by facilitated diffusion. Some of the substances need to be taken by active transport, and this also is in the way of co-transport. Other than that, osmosis is also a process by which certain substances are taken into the blood. Now let us see the cell membrane here. This is the structure of the cell membranes. As you know that it is made up of a phospholipid bilayer. Now, if we have a concentration gradient, then certain substances can directly cross the cell membrane and enter inside the cell. This process is called as diffusion, that is, movement from higher concentration to lower concentration. Sometimes, even when the substances are in higher concentration, they are not able to cross the membrane directly and they require a channel protein to move across. So, when this type of movement happens, that is, the substance moves from higher concentration to lower concentration with the help of a channel protein, this is called as facilitated diffusion. So, these are the ways by which the substance moves without spending energy. The other way is when the substance is in lower concentration and it is still taken up by the cells by spending energy, and that process is what we call as active transport. So these substances move from lower concentration and are taken up into the cell. There is the other movement which is called as co-transport, where two substances are taken together. That is called as co-transport. So these are the different ways by which the substances move inside or they are reabsorbed. Now let us see what are the substances that are reabsorbed in each of these ways. Direct diffusion happens of potassium, calcium and magnesium. Facilitated diffusion also takes place for potassium chloride, bicarbonates, phosphates, and also amino acids, glucose, and fructose. So, these require channels to move across into the cells. Now, active transport is something by which the useful substances are taken. So, this is applicable for amino acids and glucose. Now, this active transport actually takes place in the way of a co-transport. The sodium ions are taken up by active transport into the blood capillaries, and then sodium and the glucose or amino acids are taken up by co-transport. So let me explain this. So I'm drawing here the cuboidal epithelium of the PCT. So as you can see, there are the microvilli here, and just next to it lies the capillary. So this is the blood capillary, that is the peritubular capillary into which the reabsorption will happen across the cells of the PCT. Now, the sodium ions which are in the filtrate has to be taken inside. So, for this to happen, the sodium in the PCT cells are given to the capillary, that is taken up by the blood capillary by active transport. So, active transport happens here by pushing the sodium from the cell into the capillary, which creates a deficiency of sodium in the PCT cells. Now, because of this deficiency, the sodium ions are taken in by the co-transport mechanism, and along with that sodium, now the glucose and amino acids are also taken up. So, this way the co-transport works with active transport. There are other substances also taken up by active transport, that is fructose, and water is taken up by osmosis. So, tubular reabsorption can be said to be a process by which the tubular epithelial cells located at different parts of the nephron, they take up substances by either active or passive mechanisms into the blood. So this is called tubular reabsorption. Tubular secretion will be the process when the tubular cells, they secrete substances like hydrogen ions, potassium and ammonia into the filtrate. So the processes of ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption, also known as selective reabsorption, and the tubular secretion, they result in the formation of urine.